This is Stefan Schmidt for InsiderIowa.com. We recently had a report that I wrote an op-ed piece on that was in the Insider Iowa website about Europe and the European economy, European social systems, and social programs. And I guess I wanted to just make a couple of comments on that. Um, One of the things we have in the United States is a tremendous amount of, let's call it, interest in or fascination with the high quality of life in Europe. The Europeans have universal health care. They have very good schools. They have pretty excellent transportation systems, a very generous social security system that takes care of people in their retirement, pensions, and other retirement support so that people can work hard and then enjoy themselves with a decent quality of life. And we have envied it, and it is kind of the model for the world. It's sort of, much more, let's call it, generous than what we have in the United States, and certainly what most other countries have. The report that came out this week was actually in the form of an article in the New York Times that, and there have been a couple of articles in London newspapers and in German newspapers as well. Der Spiegel in Germany has done some writing on this, in which they kind of look at where their countries are situated in terms of all of this, how the economy is performing, how the economy looks for the foreseeable future, for the next 25 or 30 years. And the picture that's emerging when you start drawing some charts is that the cost of the systems that the Europeans have in place, that includes healthcare, and it includes certainly early retirement and generous pensions, is unsustainable. The word unsustainable is not, some sort of mumbo jumbo that people make up. Sustainability simply means that you can maintain something, sustain it, in other words, for a relatively long period of time. So when something is unsustainable, it means that it is unaffordable. It means that it cannot be maintained as it is over a long period of time as you project out for the next, let's say, 30 years or so. So this is causing some enormous problems in Europe because people do not want their pensions cut. They don't want their health care reduced or rationed anymore. They don't want taxes to go up. The Europeans already pay pretty hefty taxes, actually. They certainly are very reluctant to have their retirement age all of a sudden increase to, 68 or 67 years, when in some countries the retirement age is 55 and in some it's 60. And so when you start going after people's quality of life as a politician and as a leader, you face a very serious pushback. And you face, in a democracy, you face demagoguery by others who say, well, I'm not going to take that away from you. If you vote for me, I will keep your pensions, keep your health care, and keep everything you have. And this is a problem that alarmed me. It made me all of a sudden very aware of one of the weaknesses of democracy, which frankly is that it allows people to basically avoid making hard decisions if the public doesn't want to make those decisions, and if certain politicians promise people that they actually don't have to make those decisions. And so in the United States, we face the same problem in the long run, and that is, that we have now these very elaborate labor agreements that are generous and that make people have very high quality of life and excellent access to health care, but it may not be affordable. I just saw a report this morning, actually, from one of our states where the employees of one of the big urban counties, they have a 100% of their health care um, um, contributions done by the county itself. In other words, their premiums are all paid for by the government, by the taxpayers. They don't contribute anything to their health care insurance package. And in some places like New York, they are now facing a panic because um, In some instances, for example, New York police have retirement packages, and these are actual pensions rather than 401ks or some other investment instruments that are enormous and have been pumped up by people getting overtime pay in the last year or two of their job, and the overtime pay kicks up their overall salary, and that's the salary on which their pension is pegged. So, interesting problems. We'll keep you informed here at insideriowa.com.